Hello and welcome back to KeithTalks. I'm your host Keith, and today is motherfucking Friday. Let's go. So I don't know. It's been a shitty ass week. I'm sure it has been for a lot of other people too. What are you gonna do? That's life. Trying to make do with what I got. I have been reading this book, and now, mind you, I'm not really a book guy. I don't really read books like that. My wife is nonstop reading books. But I've been reading this book, and it's called Project Hail Mary. So I actually heard about it because we went to the movies last week, and when we were sitting in the movie theater, we saw a preview for the movie of Project Hail Mary, and I was like, oh man, that looks so good. And my wife was like, oh, our friend read the book. This friend of ours, really her friend's husband, read it. So he read the book, and he said it was the best book he had ever read in his entire life. So immediately I went, all right, well, I'm going to text him and ask if I can borrow it. And then, I don't know, we don't really see, this couple that often. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to buy this book. It's only like $12 or whatever it was. So I buy the book, I start reading it, and listen, I'm a slow reader, but the fact that I got through 100 pages on the first day of having this book is crazy. I don't even read, really. The last book I read, quote unquote, was a audiobook, and it was like designed to be an audiobook. It's called Listen to the Lie, and then half of it was like podcast snippets, and the other half was like like the actual book. But yeah, that was the last book I read. It's probably been 4, 5, 6 months. So, But so far it's so good. If you haven't read it, I can't recommend it enough. It's so good so far. It's about this guy. I'm not going to, obviously, some minor spoilers. I'm only going to basically go over the first few pages, or, maybe a little bit more than that. So there's this guy, and they send him into space on a mission to another star, because there are these like parasites almost. They're single-celled organisms, but they're pretty much parasites to the sun in our atmosphere, in our what do you call that? Like the Milky Way, the galaxy. Anyway, they're basically like parasites, and they're stealing a bunch of energy from the sun and reproducing a bunch, and so the Earth is going to start freezing over, and they send this guy into space to hopefully find a cure, because there's a star nearby, the only star that they have found that hasn't been affected by it. So they send him there. They put him in a coma. It's not exactly clear how long he was in a coma for. He said like 11 years at one point, which is 11 light years away, so that would actually make sense. But then he said 4 years, so I don't know exactly. That's not really important. But needless to say, it's a really, really good book, and I would recommend it if you haven't read it or heard of it. You should try it. It's very, very good. I found out about this book while we were at the movies last week. We saw The Strangers Part 2 or Chapter 2 or whatever the hell it's called. And if you haven't seen the first one, the first Strangers movie that came out, I think like last year or the year before, that movie was very, very good. And then this one was pretty good. I'm starting to get old and anxious and like when I'm sitting even at home, if I'm sitting there watching a horror movie, I'm like shaking a little bit. But it also doesn't help that there was a stabbing at the movie theater we went to, because it's the only movie theater really around us. There was a stabbing there like 5 months ago or something, because of if you haven't heard of it or about it, when the Minecraft movie came out, there was like a bunch of I don't know what you'd call it, riffraff almost. Basically, a bunch of people would like scream at certain points, and somebody told them to shut up. So the person who got told to shut up stabbed the person. So, it's a scary world out there. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. So I was shaking in my boots the whole time, and then they ended the movie on a cliffhanger. You know what I mean? So it's because they want you to come back next year for the next movie, but whatever. It was alright, and we like all of the Strangers movies so far. So we're gonna go see the third one, I'm sure. My wife already asked if we could. So yeah, that was a good movie too. If you haven't seen any of the Strangers movies, there were like two older ones too. One of them was like the original, and then obviously that one had like a sequel or based in the same universe kind of thing. And then the one last year was like a reboot almost. It was almost exactly the same as the oldest one. I think it was like 2007 or 2008 or something. But yeah, they're all very good. The one that's called Pray at Night, that's the second one that's kind of a sequel, kind of like not really. It doesn't really talk about the first one at all, but it has the same 3 people who do the murdering. But yeah, that one's probably the best one, I would say. It's actually really good. So yeah, I would recommend those movies. And that book, don't forget about the book. That's your homework, is to look up Project Hail Mary, possibly buy it, or if you have Kindle or whatever the hell, buy it from there so it's cheaper. It's so good though. It's really so good. Coming from a guy who doesn't read. But yeah, I also used to write a lot. Like I used to want to be an author, and this book has made me want to continue to write a book that I had started a while ago. So I put a little bit of time into it, not a ton of time, but it's really a great book. Very inspiring, very creative, very fun. So yeah, again, I know I've said it 3 times already, but you should read Project Hail Mary. It's very, very good. But yeah, I started working on my book a little bit. Nothing crazy, but it's kind of hard when you away from something for a while that you haven't thought about and then go back to it, because obviously I put a lot of thought into it before, but it's been a year since I worked on it, so the ideas that I had are not so much fully ideas anymore, more so just little remnants of ideas that I had. But the basic premise is that the world freezes over, which I know it's oh my God, you're copying Project Hail Mary just because you like it. No. This is after the world is frozen over, and I started writing this way before I even thought about creating Project Hail Mary. But basically, the world freezes over, and then we follow this one guy who survives. It doesn't like fully freeze over, obviously. Right at the brink of uh, the ability for human life to, well, life in general, really, to survive. Which I don't know what that is, but I've heard that if the Earth was to drop like 10 or 15 degrees, it would cause an ice age. So probably less than that. I would say probably like 5 degrees, maybe. You know, I can do some more research before I write that into the book. But you know, it's not like I'm really ever going to publish it. Would I love to? Yeah. Am I ever going to have the means, or you know, ever really, realistically, am I ever really going to finish the book fully? Probably not, but that's okay because it makes me happy in the meantime. So, yeah. And then work's been terrible, as always. I've not been doing great on flat rate hours this week, so it's been a stressful week in my mind, and my wife gets stressed out too when you know, this happens, so that sucks, but what are you gonna do? Hopefully I'll make up for it. And yeah, so that's that. That's where I'm at right now with my life. Yeah. We actually, speaking of books, my wife decided that she would like to go through her old books, mostly the ones that she has read, and she was like, oh, maybe we can donate some, or we can, you know, give some away. And then I look just for shits and giggles, and there's a website where basically you put in like this number on the back, I forget what it's called, but you put in this number in the back, and then you can get a price that they'll give you for a used book. It's not much, it's like $1 or $2. The most expensive one that we sold was $6, so it's not like you're getting a ton of money, but we got like $75 or something for it. So rather than just get rid of them, sounds good to me. And then if she wants to, she can buy 4 or 5 books if, you know, she goes to Amazon or something. So it's not a Barnes & Noble $30 book. But yeah, so if you have books that you want to get rid of, I would recommend it. Just so you know, I think it was called like thrift books or something. But if you look up sell your used books or something on Google, it'll come right up. But yeah, very exciting. What else is new in my life? What else is new? I don't know. After we went to that movie last weekend, we've been getting these drinks that have weed in them. They're only like 5 milligrams, so they're nothing crazy, but basically we got these drinks, and we went to Applebee's, and we got half-price appetizers, because it was like 9:15 or something, and from 9 p.m. to close, every day they do half-price apps, and holy shit, that food was so good. I don't know if it was because I was high, or if it was because the food was really good, but man, we got wings, we got mozzarella sticks, and we got spinach and artichoke dip, and holy shit, they were so good, and we ate all of it. It was crazy. Like, I normally eat a good amount, but my wife does not have much of an appetite, and she ate a good amount too, so that part definitely was because we were high, but, you know. Was it only tasty because we were high? I don't think so. I think it was probably tasty because it was tasty. Um, but yeah, and then what else did we get? Oh, we got like cinnamon swirls or cinnamon rolls or something, and those were really, really good too. So, you know, if you have an Applebee's near you, I would recommend them. All of the things I said, I would recommend. I think it was like sweet chili wings that we got. So, yeah, so Applebee's is where it's at, especially if you're high as fuck, because, you know, we ate the fuck out of that food. It was very, very, very good. So, yeah, so, what else? I've been having trouble sleeping this week. I think a lot of it is because I've been having caffeine later in the day, which kind of sucks. We've been trying to do better about eating better, and I also quit drinking soda pretty much, you know, except for a couple here and there. And recently I've been back on the soda train, unfortunately, and my drink of choice is Diet Coke. And of course, you know, I'll drink the caffeine-free one, but it doesn't taste as good. So, of course, I always reach for the caffeinated one. And then if I drink one at 7 o'clock or something, I know the coffee drinkers are going to laugh at me, but I haven't had a sip of coffee in, well, I have in the morning, but I don't drink it regularly, and, you know, I'll have literally like a 4-ounce cup of black coffee, and that's it. But, you know, I haven't had a real coffee in at least a year, I would say. But yeah, I've been having a lot of trouble sleeping, and my daughter is growing a tooth right now, so she's been having a lot of trouble sleeping. So I've been waking up, or I've been falling asleep, you know, around 12:30, 1, when I normally was falling asleep at like 10:30. So yeah, I've been falling asleep later, and then the other night my daughter woke up at 3, and she literally did not go back to sleep until like 5:30 or 6. And oh my God, I love her to death, but she was screaming non-stop that whole time. I love her so much, but that blood-curdling scream is not an atmosphere that is comfortable to sleep in. It is not fun. I love her to death. She's so much fun to play with, so much fun to be around, but when she has these sleep regressions or these, you know, she's grown a tooth, when she has these issues, it breaks my heart, and it makes every night a tough night for me, for my wife, for my daughter, I'm sure. She's been exhausted all week. We've both been exhausted all week, and then we get frustrated with each other, and we fight with each other. So it's been a long week for all of us, and I'm just happy it's Friday. I'm happy it's Friday. I'm hoping I can turn around my flat rate hours tomorrow. I have a big job that I'm doing that I don't know if I'll finish it, but I'll at least get close so I can. It's like 18 hours or something, so I can at least take half of it, and then we'll call it a day. You know, we'll see where we're at. I'm also, there's this thing that you can do on the computer where basically they send you like a video or something, or a web lesson, and basically you pay attention to it, you take a test at the end of it, and then if you put the claim, it's not called a claim code, but it's like a certificate code, if you send that to your boss, they'll pay you on whatever that is worth. So, I'm gonna do some training too. I got 2 hours of training so far this week, and you know, hopefully I'll get a lot more. We'll see. But yeah, so that's my life right now, living the dream, as are all of you. I'm only sure of. You know, I'm sure everybody else is living the same dream as I am. So, I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. You're beautiful, and I hope you have a great day, a great night, a great weekend, a great day tomorrow, a great anything. Whatever it is you need. I hope you get it, and I love you.